What is going on today, guys? All right, so I've had multiple subscribers ask me to do a video on this topic. I want to make it very clear right up front. I am by no means an expert. I probably have a little more knowledge than most of your average people out there simply because the fact that I'm a prepper and this is something that I've researched in the past, it is something I'm familiar with. But again, I'm no expert on this topic. You can probably tell by the title of the video what we're talking about here. We're talking about gas masks and respirators. I do own gas masks. I own 3 different types of gas masks. I own multiple respirators. Just, you know, between all the members of my family, we all have at least one respirator and one gas mask, just in case the need ever arises to actually use them. Now, I want to make something clear. I don't think right now, at least not in the United States of America, you need to be running around with a mask on. Maybe if you are, older or you're immunocompromised in some way, that's fine. But the regular average person, social distancing and making some smart lifestyle choices is probably the best thing you can do. And of course, washing your hands. Okay. But I wanted to talk about some of this stuff just so you guys can understand, and we'll go over some stuff here on the computer, and we'll look at Amazon, we'll look at eBay, and we'll see the different types of stuff that's out there and what you can expect to pay for this type of stuff, especially now. So, but it is available if you want it. This is a respirator. This is a 3M respirator. This is what most everybody in the family has. They come in different sizes, so I got small, medium, and large. The medium fits most of the adults in my family. And then small for the kids. But it's real simple. You know, you put it on your head like that. Normally you wouldn't be wearing glasses. It fits over your face like this. Okay? Now, one thing you need to understand about that, and about gas masks as well, is for that to properly fit, you can't have facial hair. So if there was ever a bad situation and I needed to wear one of these, I would have to shave. That's something you really do need to understand because it needs to be against skin to fully cover your face. Now, given that the coronavirus, which is what everybody's worried about right now, is airborne, with something like this, you'd also need to wear goggles to protect your eyes, not just your face and mouth. As far as filters and stuff go, the stuff that I've got is just these little fairly inexpensive 3M filters that just kind of pop right on to the sides of the respirator. They're just little pink filters. One goes on each side. As far as the filters themselves, I don't mess around with M95 or N95 masks. I get P100, which just means it filters out a lot more, basically. The good thing about that is that, right now everybody's talking about N95. Nobody's talking about P100. These things are still widely available, whereas a lot of the N95 stuff is not. As far as gas masks go, this is a Finnish gas mask that I have, and it's got a new 40 millimeter NATO filter. That is something you want in a gas mask. If you're going to get a gas mask, you want something that is 40 millimeter. What that means is the screw hole that's on here, that's on the mask, needs to be 40 millimeters to fit with a standard NATO cartridge or filter. Okay, the Finnish ones actually don't have that. I actually have a 60 millimeter to 40 millimeter gas mask adapter on here. But if you can get a mask that's already 40 millimeters, that's better. Again, these things now, well, first of all, they're all out of stock everywhere, just about. Now these things run about 40 bucks. When I bought it years ago, and I bought several of them for all members of the house, these ran about 20 bucks. So they're about twice the price now as they used to be, but still 40 bucks is not too bad to pay for a gas mask, and it'll usually come with one cartridge. You'll need to check it to make sure it's still good. One way you do that is by opening the cartridge up and shaking it. If you hear stuff rattling around or black stuff comes out of it, it's a bad filter. You need to buy new ones. New 40 millimeter filters can range from $30 to $50 for a filter, but it could save your life and it lasts a long time. So that's something to take into consideration. The differences between a respirator and a gas mask pretty much come down to how much can it filter out. An NBC rated gas mask, that's nuclear, biological, and chemical, will filter out just about everything. These things, these respirators with these filters, will filter out particulate matter, and they have to be thick enough to filter out the type of particulate matter you're trying to filter out. In this case, viral, which is why it needs to be N95 or above up to P100 to filter out a virus. This will not help with chemicals or nuclear or any of that stuff, and in fact, even a lot of biological stuff still might get through, just not really anything you're going to be worried about. So these are probably just fine. Gas masks are probably not needed with what we're talking about today with the coronavirus, but it is something that a lot of people are asking questions about. So now let's go ahead, and I want to click over here and show you guys, or on Amazon, what you can expect to pay and the availability and that type of stuff. We're going to look on Amazon, and we're going to look on eBay. As far as Amazon goes, these are the respirators you're looking at right here. There are different levels that offer different features. The kind that I have is the 7000 series, which is their best half face mask. And then you have the 7501, which is the small, the 7502, which is like this, which is the medium, and the 7503, which is the large. Okay? You can see here, $40 starting at $49, $34, $29. You see we've got packs of filters here, $40 for 2 sets, which has gone up dramatically. When I bought these, this was $20 for 2 sets, so they've doubled in price, and this has just been I got these a month ago. So prices are going up. You see a little bit better grade of filter, the ones with the plastic. They usually last a little bit longer, mostly because these orange or pink ones here, they can get damaged. You can push on them. It's basically just the filter itself. There's no containment for it. That's why they're cheaper. So they can get banged around and bent and all that kind of stuff. So you need to be careful if you're going to order these. Okay, I'm fully aware that these are more delicate than ones that come in like the plastic case like this here. Now you see this one here is currently unavailable. So you see lots of filters, lots of stuff. There's lots of stuff available on Amazon if you want to get it. But as far as respirators go, again, this stuff here you're looking at, what do we got here? $30 to $50 range here is probably what you're going to end up paying for a respirator mask. Then you're going to be paying at least $20 for one set of filters. That's probably what you're going to be looking at. And one set of filters will last you quite a while. I have friends who do paint work, and that's what they use these respirator masks for, and they'll use the same set of filters for months at a time. And just leave it on there, and they won't change them out. Now, obviously, it depends on how much you're breathing, how much you're going out, and what kind of stuff you're doing while you're out and who you're around. But one set of filters should last you quite a while, at least till we get over this little hump. Then there is the filters themselves. Like I said, we looked at that a little bit on the page, but this is a different search. These are the masks that people are saying you shouldn't buy. And the reason they're saying people shouldn't buy these masks is because of the fact that doctors and nurses and EMTs need these masks more than we do. We can get by with a paint respirator. In fact, the paint respirator is actually a little better, but the disposable masks are what the medical community needs. So I would recommend buying stuff like this. And you can get these at Home Depot, too, if they've got them in stock. It's in the painting section. I would recommend buying stuff like that as opposed to the disposable masks, because the disposable ones are the ones that the nurses and the doctors and the EMTs need. So don't buy those up. Let the medical community have those. We can buy a reusable one and pay a little more money for it, so that they have the protection they need. But there you can see some of the stuff that's out there. Then there's a step up, the full face respirator. This is the same thing that this is, does the same thing, okay? But it's full face, so you wouldn't need to wear goggles. Now, you want to be careful. There's a lot of these brands out there that I've never heard of. I would probably stick to something that's made by 3M. 3M makes some of the better stuff. They're a legitimate company. In fact, if you go here and we do our search for 3M, add that on there, you'll get the real ones. Now, look at this one's out. This one's $157. They are expensive. This one's $180. These are good full-face respirators. Okay, you will also see some bad full-face respirators and some that are pretty much only suitable for paintball. Don't be fooled. A full-face respirator is going to cost you at least $150. If it costs less than that, it's probably not a good one. That's just my advice. Over on eBay, you can see we've got respirators going on. They've got a lot of them out there. Look, this one's $27. This is a 3M. This is a large. I'd recommend most people are probably a medium. Most adults are probably a medium, unless you just got a really, really big face. But there you go. $150 for a respirator there. $50 for one here. These are the masks. KN95. You've got other masks here. So there is stuff out there on eBay. It's going to be more expensive now than it was 2 weeks ago or 2 weeks before that. But it is out there, and it is available. See this stuff over here. We've got N95. Somebody's selling a 20-pack for $99. So they are out there. You can get them. I would not recommend you buy this stuff, especially this mask right here from 3M. Is the stuff that the medical professionals need, and they don't need to run out of them. And we need them to not run out of them. We need them properly protected against this virus, because if they go out, who's going to take care of those of us that get sick? So I would recommend going with a half mask or a full face respirator, like an industrial type respirator, not what the medical community would use. Again, if you think you need it. There you go. As far as gas masks go, they're kind of all over the place. You can get a lot of surplus stuff out there. Prices are going up considerably, so you need to be careful. Like I said, I paid $20 for this. These things, first of all, they're now primarily out of stock, and when they are in stock, they're going for $40, $50. You've got a Serbian gas mask here, 60 millimeter filter, so you would need an adapter if you were going to get something like that, but it's only $25 with shipping. That's actually pretty cheap. Got a Polish military gas mask here for $49.99, $50 free shipping. It is 40 millimeter, so you would be able to grab any 40 millimeter NATO-sized cartridge for your filter, and it would fit on there. So there's lots of stuff out there, okay? And see this one here. You typed in gas mask, but you get a respirator. You need to know the difference between the two. Respirators are not gas masks. Gas masks filter more stuff. Serbian military for $40. We've got an old school Army for $30. Check right here. This one's, so after shipping, you're going to be paying $38 for it. These have different filters. They do not take standard 40 millimeter filters. These take filters that are specially sized to fit inside the cheeks, which is great and all, but it's harder to find those types of filters, and you can't just grab any NATO filter, which you can order all over the internet, and have it fit with that mask. But again, the filters that come with it are probably going to last a while. So to get over a hump, would that be something you could do? Pay $38 and have it ready to go? Maybe. I don't know. That's up to you. As far as gas masks go, there is this one company that I like. This is RDDUSA.com. They're actually out of California, and they've been selling gas masks for decades. And they have a lot of stuff. They have a lot of stuff that's actually in stock, but you're going to pay for it. For instance, I have this gas mask right here, which, as you can see, if you wanted to get one, it would cost you $90. This is one that I've got for myself. It's in my bug out bag. It's an Israeli M15 gas mask. It's got the tube on it, so you can put the canister in a pocket or in your pack or something and not have to wear the canister right on your face. It's a good gas mask, but it's expensive. Are you willing to pay almost $100 for a gas mask? I don't know. They also have these check gas masks as well for $40, ready to go. Now, a company like this might actually have some of the filters in stock. Another thing, and I have one of these as well, is I've got one of these children's gas masks. It's an Israeli gas mask. I bought it a long time ago. I didn't pay $80 for it, but I'm glad I had it. I think at the time I bought it, I paid about $40. Obviously, prices have gone up. But I got it so that my youngest at the time, which was my now middle daughter, would have a gas mask. She now wears a regular size gas mask, and this gas mask has gone to my youngest daughter. Israelis were one of the few places that made children's size gas masks. So that's something to take into consideration. All right, so that pretty much covers it as far as the prices you can expect to pay, the differences between respirators and gas masks, and talking about the filters, and going to companies like 3M to buy your respirator stuff, not some weird paintball company that's selling a gas mask. Talking about the finished stuff and the 40 millimeter versus the 60 millimeter for your NATO cartridges. That's about as much information as I have to give you. Hopefully somebody out there will find it helpful. I know it's information that's been helpful to me that I've gathered slowly over the years. So I hope passing it on helps somebody out there. Like I said, I do not think this is the time to be running around all the time like that, okay? I don't think we're there yet. We may get there. I don't know. As the prepper in me is going to say, hey, just in case, and I get it. I don't think we're there yet, unless maybe you live in a retirement community or something, or in certain parts of New York or Washington, maybe. But I don't think most of us are there yet, but I completely understand the need to want to be prepared. It's a good instinct to have. So there you go. Like I said, hopefully it was helpful to somebody, and we're going to go ahead and get out of here, guys. Take it easy. Later.